Welcome to Gray Eminence Media. All right, guys, let's get into it.
Want them to know that I don't think we need to give cash to Ukraine. I don't think we need to put troops on the ground, but we need them to have the equipment, the ammunition to win. I want them to.
We don't need to give cash to Ukraine, but yet they need to have the equipment they require. So they do need the money. What?
Know that of everything we've spent in the Ukraine, only 3.5% of our defense budget. That's it. All in the name of preventing war. I want them to know that percentage of GDP, there are 11 European countries spending more than us. That's a small price to pay to prevent war, to prevent people like my husband to have to go and fight in a war that we don't want him to have to fight in. And when they realize that if Russia takes Ukraine, then Poland and the Baltics are next, and then we are in war because those are NATO countries, then they understand that this is about preventing war. And I will always talk about prevention of war. And if Ukraine wins, it sends the biggest message to China not to go into Taiwan. The one thing that Russia and China were so fearful of when I was at the United Nations was a strong military. We need to.
That is incorrect. Even if Ukraine does succeed and Russia ends up giving up, that's not going to deter China from eventually invading and taking control of Taiwan. You see, because she still has this Western thinking, and she doesn't have any idea about the Chinese root cause of why they want to reunify with Taiwan. Okay, so first and foremost, let's just go ahead and look at the history between China and Taiwan. All right, so let's go ahead and look at straight facts. All right. Okay. So when you look at the history behind this reunification idea, we have to start in 1865, right? So in the year 1865, the Manchu Qing dynasty of China lost the first Sino-Japanese war and was forced to cede Taiwan and Penghu to the Empire of Japan after signing the Treaty of Shimonoseki. All right, and then we can continue on down the list, down the paragraphs, but you get the idea. So this territory called Taiwan was in fact a part of the Chinese Empire. Okay, specifically under the Qing dynasty, and they were forced to cede that territory after they lost to Japan in the first Sino-Japanese conflict. All right, so it goes deeper than just, oh, well, if we see that, the United States, its assistance to Ukraine was so amazing that Ukraine was able to fend off a invasion from Russia, that's not going to deter China from trying to reunify with Taiwan, because they have shared a common history together, and the history is elevated above any kind of observation that they would have between Ukraine and Russia. For example, in Libya, right? Gaddafi has seen what America can do to countries within the Middle East and North Africa, right? With Iraq and Afghanistan, it did not deter Gaddafi for trying to stand up to imperial powers, right? He's seen it throughout his life and in history books, right? And so even though Gaddafi witnessed the carnage that was wreaked upon Iraq and Afghanistan by the United States, that didn't deter him from trying to push back Western powers who were trying to intervene within that area. So this is the kind of logic that we don't need in the White House, and this is just pure facts. You can't argue with this line of thinking, right? So let's go ahead and finish the interview. Maybe she'll have some good points later on. I really don't know, but let's go ahead and finish out.
build up our military so strong that they never want to touch it. We need to let China know that they'll be hell to pay if they touch Taiwan. So, are we going to defend Taiwan? We will do whatever we need to defend our friend the way we're defending Ukraine. And look at the fact Taiwan wants us to defend Ukraine. Why does
Yeah,
Taiwan
we
want us to
know.
defend Ukraine? Because they know that if Ukraine wins, China walks away and doesn't invade Taiwan. That's why.
No, that's completely inaccurate. You don't even understand the root cause of why China wants to reunify with Taiwan and its motivation. That's the biggest thing because she thinks China's motivation is contingent upon an outcome between Ukraine and Russia. No, this goes deeper than that. This is historical, this is cultural, this is something in their blood that Nikki Haley just doesn't understand, and I don't think she will ever understand. And that's why she doesn't need to be in the White House.
There is a consensus among free democracies to make sure that we finish this, that we finish it quickly, and we send a message to the enemies that want to destroy us.
Finish
Should
it
a
quickly.
jury convict Trump of a serious crime? Would you feel comfortable for him knowing that a jury, not the Justice Department, but a jury of 12 Americans?
Okay, and the fact that the media is not covering this as a major foreign policy debacle and stumble is quite evident of just the incompetency of the media class, right? So even they don't even know what they're talking about. So what do you guys think? Do you think that China is really going to determine their invasion based on the outcome of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, or do you think their motivation comes from something more deeper within the confines of history and culture? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you all think. All right, have a good one.